Hello collective, welcome to the Intuition Tarot. My name is Kay. I'm talking a little bit quietly because it's before dawn, but it's so quiet here that you can probably hear me because there's really no other noise. Now if the heater starts back up, I might have to make adjustments. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a collective love reading, and I hadn't planned to, but I was sitting here thinking about some things, and I just was led to do it. And so I'm shuffling this Santa Muerte deck here for the main spread. I like to do that part on camera. It helps me kind of tap in as I give the introduction, but we're almost done. I've pre-shuffled 2 oracle decks, the Ching of Love and the Twin Flame Oracle, as well as my little Radiant Pocket Edition Rider-Waite deck, so that I can use that for clarification if necessary. And before we get started, there's my schedule down below, which I do love readings and general readings weekly for each sign. And then sometimes I do random stuff like this, but there's also instructions for how to donate to my channel if so inclined, a list of all the decks that I use, and a link to my website where you can book a personal with me or order a personalized avatar birth chart. So, okay, I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to go ahead and just split these. Like I said, they're already pre-shuffled. And choose one. I'm going to do the same with the Twin Flame Oracle here. I need to get a better tablecloth. I mean, I'm grateful for it. Okay. So, I'm just going to get these out of the way real quick. Really quickly. I don't know why I always correct myself when I say that. It's like I have a 2nd grade English teacher in my head or something. Alright. Do you even know about adverbs by 2nd grade? I mean, I'm sure you do, like, just from speaking it, but as far as actually knowing about the... Okay, I'm going to stop talking about grammar. And check out what we got. So first, from the Ching of Love, card 51. It's called Fatal Event. And I'm going to read what it says in the book. The other one doesn't have like a book part, so it'll be shorter. Wait a minute, what was this number? Oh, okay. I'm on the wrong page, my bad. 51. Fatal Event. The Oracle's advice is to live this moment of intensity for what it is. It will leave an intimate and everlasting trace in your life. Enter deeply into the present. The page is stuck together. Enter deeply into the present moment. Feel yourself quivering. Listen to that quiver. Let the heart speak to the heart. It happens. We only need to eliminate every obstacle to its happening. It is only in this way that love continues to recreate itself. Well, that's pretty deep. And yeah, you know, the reason I pulled the Love Oracle and the Twin Flame Oracle is because I felt like this was more of a Twin Flame reading. That's not my focus on this channel, but, well, let's just put it this way. I'm kind of lazy and I have regularly scheduled readings, and so for me to go like beyond that and do another one just like before dawn, I was led to do this, so I feel like it might be for a twin flame out there or whatever, but take it as it resonates. So the next card that we got, it says Transformation, Breakthrough, Reinvention. You're ready for the next level. Ooh. Okay, so Fatal Event and Transformation. Well, first thing that brings to my mind is that those things both are represented by death, Scorpionic Pluto energy. I just was thinking the other day, like, of Pluto's, how he felt about, supposedly the planets are named after different gods or whatnot. Oh, I forgot. Actually, I usually do 7 shuffles, but for this reading I do 10. Because I take the top 15 cards instead of using the flip over method. So 3 more shuffles. As I was saying though, since the planets were supposedly originally named, they had their Greek names or whatever, and then their Roman names, and after the planets were. I was just thinking, then in a way it's like, if you anthropomorphize them, and now I think I'm saying it wrong, I'm not even trying to show off, it's a real word and I normally can say it fluidly, but anthropomorphize, there you go. Since we do that to, the gods, and even to the planets by giving them gods' names, like, I wonder how Pluto felt about it when he got booted out as a real planet. And it made me think about how, and this is Fatal Event Transformation, it's kind of about the death card in the sense of death and rebirth, and, okay, I'm going to shut up. But I want to finish that thought real quick. It's like, no, I'm going to stop there and get on with this reading. Thank you for your patience, Collective. I'm going to lay out the cards. I'll say things as they come to me, if they do, as I go. And if not, then at the very end, I will, whatever, we'll see, clarify. Yeah, I got distracted. So quiet here. I think I'm going to have to move this off to the side, though, because I won't have the room to do this little spread. I know I should figure these things out before I start filming, but I'm new to this, alright. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to have to move this too. Okay, thank y'all, bear with me here. I'm just kind of getting a feel for the spread as I lay the cards, but there's only a couple left, so I do appreciate your patience. This is just kind of how I tap in. This last card I have not seen. I'm not going to flip it over yet. I'm going to leave it in the center, and we'll find out the final outcome together. I got a spirit to aim for approximately 6 months, so it could be sooner, could be later. Just put these cards back real quick so they'll be out of the way. Okay. In the past, this connection was a thought about when both of you might have been alone. There are elements of this that lead me to believe that it could possibly involve like a long distance connection, but it doesn't have to be, because it can also be about emotional distance. I don't know though. It's like, so the Hermit card here is Major Arcana for Virgo energy, and it talks about going within, kind of retreating, isolating to some degree, but not in an unhealthy way. At least not when it's upright. You just kind of go within to connect with your higher self and with the divine. And so that's showing me that's kind of what was happening in the past. So there might have been like a period of communication, and in the past that this is picking up. Either that, or this is when you guys were still alone and you hadn't connected yet. And so you kind of were in hermit mode as far as like, you might have had other connections, but none of them really made you feel like you weren't alone. And moving to the present, though, we've got the Four of Wands, Aries energy. So, something about the connection has recently become a reason to celebrate. And since it's the Four of Wands, it can deal with foundations, reasons to celebrate. It can talk about specifically twin flame unions on the original Rider-Waite, or traditional, I should say, Rider-Waite card. You can see the two staffs. It looks like 1111, so, you know, it's not really a very traditional, old-fashioned interpretation of the card, but it resonates for me, and you can actually see it in this card too, but this camera might not be able to show you. Anyway, there's just more subtle wands, but they're on the sides. Anyway, so it can be about weddings and births, even things like, you know, moving in together, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be in relation. I mean, this spread is about the relationship, but there's just, even could be, you know, y'all are attending a wedding together, or maybe it could even be, if this is like a long distance situation, like I'm kind of sensing for some of you, you've both gotten into like an agreement with each other in some sense. So even if it's not on paper yet, or, you know, cemented with a ring or whatnot, it's like you've both chosen each other, sort of. And I'm not saying sort of because I'm not sure. It's that I get a feeling from it almost like you've both chosen each other, but there's like a but in there somewhere. So your feelings are showing up as the Six of Swords, Aquarius energy. And so, okay, I do base some of my readings, parts of them a lot off of the cards when I look, and this Six of Swords is a little different. He's not exactly looking back, but like you see the back of the ship and you see the storm in the back. And usually, you know, you kind of see like the storms behind. I mean, the storm's still behind him, but the direction, the perspective of it is like, but you'll notice, you know, his head isn't turned to looking back at the storm, but his body's still facing it. You know, he's looking ahead, but he's kind of like, oh shit, that's still back there. Go a little faster, we're almost safe. You know what I mean? And so, and that card does talk about travel as well. It's like, I'm going to clarify that one. I think I'm just going to clarify them as I go. I was thinking I would look at the whole spread first, but, you know, because I was sensing that slight sense of, not doubt exactly, but of a but. And so it may be that that could be coming from you. If you're in that Six of Swords and in that mode, it's like, because you could be just wanting, this could be moving on to calmer waters and more peaceful times, being with this person, but we're traveling to go meet them, you know, leaving behind whatever situation you're leaving. And that could be a positive thing, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like, maybe you're still worried about the storm catching up to you. Let me clarify. And like I said, these are already pre-shuffled, so now I'm just going to wait for one to flip over as customary for me. Did I just say... Oh my god. I think I just was trying to say spirit, and I might have said Alexa. Like talking to my AI. Because I'm so used to saying her name out loud. That is creepy, though. I hope I'm not channeling the spirit of Alexa. Alright, that's a whole nother rabbit hole I'm not going to go down right now. Spirit, please show me the Six of Swords for the collective. 3 or more cards, or I'll take the top one. Okay, so we've got the Death card coming out. Major Arcana for Scorpio, which is a nice little tie-in to our Oracle cards that we began the reading with, right? Because that card is fatal events and transformation. I mean, it's death, right? But it's death and, like I like on the light Seers Tarot, it says light or death and rebirth, because, you can see it's just that cycle of, okay, that definitely didn't come from me. I just got that song, The Circle of Life from The Lion King in my head, and I only saw the movie once, and I was really young and I don't remember it, and I really don't like that song. So I never listened to it. So anyway, that might resonate with someone. But you can see the sun right here. So it's like, after death comes, it's transformation, duh. So this says to me that this isn't really about your feelings surrounding this connection. This is about you being in a certain kind of situation where for a long time it was stormy. There were a lot of trials and tribulations, and it's like the butterfly is another obvious symbol of transformation, in which we have 2 of here because we have 2 tens, and in the Santa Muerte deck the tens are illustrated with butterflies, but I digress. So, but I just noticed that too, so that's rather interesting. What I was going to say though was, when you're transforming into a butterfly, of course you have to spend that time in the cocoon. So it feels like you're changing, and it feels like you're growing, and eventually you burst out. And I think you're just, and your feelings, you're like right at that popping point. You know what I'm saying? Where you are like a butterfly, pretty much already formed, but you're still bursting out of the cocoon. Okay, I'm going to move on. This next card, as stated on the full mission statement, that's kind of redundant, on my webpage linked below, I'd explain why I don't really deliberately tap into anyone's thoughts or feelings, like channel them, like telepathy kind of shit, because that's a violation of their privacy in a way. And so I'm just going to read the energy of this card. I mean, your partner is showing up as the 3 of Cups. That's Cancerian energy. I'm going to clarify that one too, because that can mean a few different things. So, either your partner is in this celebratory mode, going along with the 4 of Wands, or he could be just feeling, like he's enjoying time with friends and family and stuff like that. But let me just clarify it and see. Spirit, please clarify the 3 of Cups for the collective's twin flame and how they're showing up in the energy at this time. Okay. So we've got 3 cards, and I always ask Spirit to give me 3 or less. So if I have more than 3 flip over, I take the top card. But in this case, there are 3 that came out, so I'm taking them all. Oh my goodness. Okay, 3 major arcanas. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, which I see as Sagittarius energy. The World, which is fixed sign energy, so Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. And then we've got the Magician, which is major arcana for Virgo and Gemini. Wow. Okay, so the signs don't always have to matter. I just like to mention them. And thank you, Spirit. Okay, so I got these cards in major arcana form so that I know they're a direct message from the divine, because I felt a little uncomfortable doing this reading. I'm just going to keep it 100. It doesn't matter to me how other tarot readers read. I don't care. I don't judge anyone. But I've been kind of convicted by Spirit to not try to spy on someone, in a sense. And so whenever I include another person in your energy, I mean, I feel like I have your permission by rote because you come in here to watch this video. So by doing that, you're giving me permission to tap into your energy. But the other person in your twin flame union, although they're technically the same soul, according to the theory, right, they haven't given me their consent or permission. But I asked Spirit, to clarify that card. I felt a little uncomfortable, but then I got 3 major arcanas, which means I'm not actually technically reading the other twin flames energy. This is the message from the universe. This is kind of mind-blowing, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to trip, but the World, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Magician, put together with those Three of Cups, this is telling me that this is what this person is celebrating about. This is, there's a person there who has ascended in some way, shape, or form, has graduated to like a higher level, had like a glow up. This was due to good karma and destiny. With a little help from this person's manifestations. But there's no negativity about it. The Magician upright, I mean, this person has been co-creating with the divine. And what this has to do with your relationship with them, I'm not sure, unless it's just, you know, usually when I do a flame reading, I'm at a twin flame reading, it's like I identify more with the person on this side, even though I separate myself from it energetically. I put that intent out, because this is like, you know, your feelings, or how you're showing up. And then this one, it's like, I feel like it's the person that the collective has on their mind. But I just wanted to say reverse roles if necessary, because it could be that you've recently gone through this amazing ascension and spiritual transformation. The Three of Cups to me now, I'm picking up like a reunion with ancestors, not in the sense that you passed away, like a literal death, but through the spiritual awakening. And then the person on this side, it's like they're maybe just one step behind. So that just struck me as a little odd, because yeah, normally the person that would seek out or watch a twin flame reading on YouTube with tarot cards is going to be the person who's more spiritually ascended and aware, because sometimes the other person doesn't even know the concept exists, if you follow me. In this case though, like I said, I'm not leaning more toward one side or another. It's a very balanced reading for me, because it makes sense. Over here, this person, as I said before, they're transforming and they're moving on to a better place, like calmer waters, I should say, because yeah, I'm not talking about literal death. Whereas this person is on some kind of spiritual trip and it's going really, really well for them. Moving on. The positives of this connection. We've got the Ten of Swords, which is one of the two tens I was talking about that popped up here. That's Gemini energy. As far as that being a positive, the pain is over. You might not have completely recovered from it yet, maybe haven't completely healed from it yet, especially since it's on this side, although that's not technically how the spread works. I'm picking up that certain other connections this way. So this might have been what led to your figurative death and therefore transformation. Ten of Swords, it doesn't have to indicate a literal death, but it talks about like you've been through the worst pain that you've ever been through that you can imagine, really. Backstabbed, betrayed, and it's just you're done, you know. And with the Ten of Swords though, it's like the only way to go is up. So I can see how that's a positive there. As far as negatives, you've got the Four of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy. Third decan to be precise. Someone is, greedy about their, no, I'm not, okay. Well, it is in the negative spot. There's a tendency here, I think, for one person to be a little bit needy and the other person to be a little bit withholding in their energy. This doesn't have to be deliberate manipulation. I'm just saying it neutrally. One person has a tendency to grasp. I just heard another song, that Hold On Loosely But Don't Let Go. It's like from the 70s. I don't know the name of it though, or the artist. And then the other person is, well, stop pulling, because the more you pull on me, like, the less I kind of want to give you kind of energy. Hopes, Ten of Pentacles. kind of building an empire together sort of feeling to that. Doesn't have to be about material wealth, but it often is. Or whatever is whatever defines your, what you think, how you think of the ultimate happiness. Although, it's kind of, the Ten of Cups is more about emotional fulfillment though, and the Ten of Pentacles is indicated as well, but it's not the focus. It's about generational wealth, like making enough money that you know that you can support yourself the rest of your life without worrying about it, as well as anyone else who may be dependent on you. So as a hope, obviously, that makes sense. Fears, you've got the Five of Cups. Scorpio energy. Possible Libra Scorpio cusp card also at times. I don't always mention those things, but I do when they pop into my head because I figure there may be a reason. I don't like popping up with keywords, but sometimes they just are the best way to describe the energy. Regrets, of course, but for the Five of Cups here, if you can see, they show his brain, his head, and it's a maze, which to me is kind of an Eight of Swords energy as well. It's like, there are regrets, but it's not just like you think about it every once in a while and it's like, oh, yeah, if I knew better now, or if I knew then now what I know, or if I knew back then what I know now, then that was really hard for me to get out. Then I would do things differently. It's not just that and then you move on. It's more like but then I said this and that's why they reacted this way. And so what to aim for in this connection? We've got the Ace of Pentacles, a beginning. I'm really still getting that kind of almost long distance feeling. Don't let that, turn you off if that's not your case. I mean, if it's not your reading, it's not, but it doesn't have to be. This is just for someone in the collective. I'm picking up this long distance situation where it's like you might have gotten to know each other really well via all the possible means for a long distance online relationship. So, the usual Snapchat, WhatsApp, video chats, and all that good stuff. But you might not have actually met them in person. That's one kind of vibe I'm picking up. So this Ace of Pentacles would be a solid new beginning where you've already built up a friendship and you really feel like it's, something that has potential to grow. But if that's not the case and you haven't met this person and you're very, okay, hold on, let me get my thoughts together. It still represents a new beginning, but there may have been a sort of stable element to the connection lacking up until this point where things you weren't maybe building on the right things. And so now it's saying that there's an opportunity, aim for, if you're going to start a new beginning with this person, whoever they may be, build it with solid material. And as far as what to avoid, we've got the King of Swords. Oddly enough, this doesn't always come to me, but the first thing that popped up into my head was law enforcement. So, it's not that that's exactly funny, because, I'm not suggesting that anyone here is a criminal, and if you are, I don't judge. Hell. The other things that come to mind is to avoid overanalyzing and completely going into the logical space for this connection. There are elements of this connection, particularly if it's a twin flame one, that are what some might consider to be supernatural. There are things of that nature, and the part of you that wants to be safe, that wants the Ace of Pentacles, wants to dissect things, and wants to think this can't be real. The King of Swords, though, in this case, it's kind of like he holds a double-edged sword, because he's also extremely discerning and extremely, like, he digs for information. He's like a dog with a bone. Until he gets to the point where he doesn't have to, and then he has, pages and stuff that can do it for him. But on important things, he likes to get all the information for himself in whatever way possible. So I feel like Spirit is saying here, avoid just being completely in that mode of logic analyzation, because you already know better. Environmental factors, you have the Queen of Wands. I see that as Aries energy. Can also represent Leo or Sagittarius. I'm not a tarot junkie, but I do catch the occasional other video on YouTube, and there has been a theme amongst a couple of readers that Aries energy has been really in our grill. Okay, so see, I would never have intended to say that. It just popped out of my mouth. Because this is a reading for the collective, but I was just speaking from Cancer Sun sign mode. So I'm seeing this almost as like an intrusive sort of energy. Even though this is neutral and it's separate from me, there's nothing bad about Aries. And the Queen of Wands is one of my favorite cards. She's beautiful and sexy and alluring and very ambitious. She has the confidence to know that she's going to get what she wants, which makes her an excellent manifester. Which is why sometimes they show her with, like, a cat and the wand. And of course, because she's a Queen of Wands as well. Here she has a candle. She's the passionate queen, the fun queen. But in a more dignified way. She has fun with class, in some cases. At least that's what I'm picking up here. But what I'm actually getting from it, though, as much as I admire the Queen of Wands in general, here I'm picking up sort of a, I wouldn't go so far as to say antagonistic energy, but maybe a slightly intrusive one. I'm not sure, though, about the intent of that or how it's going to affect those here. I don't have many viewers yet, obviously, but obviously they're not going to be just Cancers that watch this video if someone does. So, I just was thinking in my readings lately, a lot of Aries energy has been popping up, and I don't associate it with a particular person because I don't really know anybody that are Aries that are important in my life. It's not by choice, it's just that I have a very small circle. And so that kind of got me into the wavelength of thought that this is like an environmental factor, that it's about something maybe that, or someone that you're maybe not too familiar with, that isn't necessarily like bad, but they might have their own motive. That kind of energy. Spirit, please clarify the Queen of Wands. 3 cards or lesser. Okay. So, for clarification, we've got the 6 of Pentacles. Taurus energy. This is acting as a force to stabilize things in some way, like there's a vibe of someone or something coming in and creating, it's a catalyst for balance. But at first, sometimes it's like if you have something swinging and you're trying to get it to stop. You grab it, but once you grab it, you let go, and it's still kind of like is wobbling back and forth. That's what I'm kind of picking up here. There's some kind of force that's almost like stopping the weeble wobble and like bringing it into balance, but that it's like the flame that lit it. So there's something like starting up. Okay, I think you get my drift. I hope so. Other people in the connection, or that are maybe affecting it. We have the Chariot card, Major Arcana for Cancer. So, I mean, it could... That's funny. I was just talking about how I'm a Cancer, and this isn't about me, but... That's funny. Okay, I mean, I saw it before, but... The Chariot... what I was going to say is that it could involve an actual cancer, but the signs don't always matter. Let me look at something real quick, guys. Just hold on a second. Someone is trying to speed things up. And it's interesting, there's more wedding energy in here, which the Chariot isn't always about, but this one is. It's the car of the wedding party. Well, Chariot, obviously. And someone here may be a little bit too forward thinking, is the best way I can think of to put it. So I'm just going to say what I'm picking up here, just what crossed my mind. Whichever side resonates with you, collective, I don't know. But because this person is still not quite burst out of their cocoon, and that the positive of the connection is that they've been through the worst pain they possibly can, they may not have quite gotten to the stage of forgiveness or whatever it is that it will take to burst them fully out and free. So they may still be in this stuck in regrets energy, and they may be sliding into like an anxious attachment style kind of energy where they really want to seal the deal. So I can see twin flames coming together, perhaps like in the long distance scenario for the first time, and one or the other person wanting to get married right away for legal reasons like visas and stuff like that, but I'm not picking up any deception here. That sounds like a very deceptive scenario, but people have actually met and fallen in love that way. So, but if it's not that, if that's absolutely not the case, then I can see these two people coming together for a reunion. Maybe they've had one before, maybe they've had several before, times that they've met, but at any rate, like they've had a recent experience where they have met, and this person's like, okay, well, I don't want to have sex with you until we're married. And the other person's like, well, we just met. And the other person's like, yeah, but we've been dating for 2 months now, but we were talking for 6 months before that on Instagram or whatever. I don't know. I apologize. There's different things that come into my mind. But I think the most common one is just that this person is your twin flame, and regardless of whatever the extent of your connection up to this point, one person wants to seal the deal. They want to tie the knot. They want to, if you don't believe in marriage in the traditional sense, then they want to move in, or they want to get tattooed rings on their whatever that means for you. Act. So we've got the Six of Pentacles again. Taurus energy, as I stated before. And so there's this card right here with the flame, which I was saying was, oh, over here, my bad, the Queen of Wands. And then there's a Six of Pentacles here. And I was talking about how that's like a catalyst for this balancing process. And I think that this person that's in the energy of the spiritual ascension, that might be slightly further on the path than the other. And there's neither one that's, better nor worse necessarily. Just take it as it resonates. But this person over here who's more lit, let's say, is taking initiative, or Spirit's talking about them talking, whether they do it or they should do it or whatever. But this is an action. They're going to, and it even shows a pendulum swinging back and forth. Like I was talking about the Weeble Wobble. Sorry guys, it's still not even dawn yet. My cat's being really good, which is odd too. This is usually his time to act up. Where was I? An action is going to be taken now with the Six of Pentacles. It's pretty vague, and I think it's that way on purpose. And I don't usually see the Six of Pentacles as action per se, but through some act of generosity or evening out those scales, like maybe one person was more of a giver or a taker, and they're, flip-flopping, showing the opposite side to prove that they're really into this, or that's kind of what I'm picking up. We're going to type this reading here soon, but I do want to clarify that one. Spirit, please show me the Six of Pentacles for this twin flame energy. The Emperor, definitely taking control of the situation. That's more Aries energy, by the way. Major Arcana. Thank you, Spirit. I think that's enough on that. Unknown factors, we have the Page of Wands. The most likely scenario to this is if you are in separation with this twin flame collective, then it's perhaps when you've been going through this painful process, part of that was thinking that in shedding your skin and transforming, you've been allowing that for the most part because you're right about to burst out, so you've come a long way, and it's like you might have felt like by going into this hermit mode in the recent past that you would be able to transform better without other influences, and you might have even gotten kind of fucked up in your head about what was for you and what was against you, and you didn't know if maybe something was trying to isolate you so that they could get you stuck or confuse you or make you crazy, or you didn't know if it was the divine leading you to go within and study and get in touch with him or her or it or whatever. There was a little bit of confusion, and it was like, okay, so you might have shut this person out too. And now I'm being drawn back to this Chariot card because, it was really about other people. And my attention's being called back to it because I was talking about how one or the other of you really wants this union to take off fast and to be sealed. But although I do pick up these energies for a reason, and I'm sure that that does apply, I'm being guided now to, this just came to me while I was talking about the Page of Wands. Whether it's a Cancer or not, someone may feel, and it could be sort of the same vibe I'm getting over here, somebody might really be interested, they might have a vested interest in whether or not someone else, whether one of you gets married or not. For whatever reason that may be. But I'm not going to clarify that one. Well, see, I should, because I'm picking up that someone is, they're determined, but I'm not sure what. And I was led to revisit that for a reason, also. Spirit, please clarify the Chariot card for the collective. Two cards. Two of Wands, Aries energy, which is bringing into my thoughts the Chariot card. It shows usually, on the Rider-Waite that I learned on, it has two sphinxes, one's white, one's black, but it's the driver of the chariot. It's kind of like they're almost like wanting to go separate ways, but through his willpower and determination, the driver manages to control the course of the chariot. So with the Two of Wands, there's that same sense of duality of like, so yeah, there's someone who has an interest, like I said, in influencing the connection one way or another. And then the Ten of Wands came out as well. Okay, so I'm picking up a couple things here. Somebody could be thinking, I really need my son or my daughter to marry someone from America so that I know that they're safe and that my grandchildren will have a better life. It could be someone thinking, I really want my daughter to get married because she's almost 40 and I really wanted grandkids and she'll never have kids at this rate if she doesn't start soon. That kind of thing. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. So the Page of Wands, where I was getting with that though, unknown factors. You may have been in separation from this person for whatever reason, even if it's just a typical, well, typical for those who know, twin flame separation type of energy. Or if it's that, you know, there's distance between you and this person, and so you might have cut them off in hermit mode, and now you're going to hear from them. If you're in sort of, you know, communication with this other person to the degree that hearing from them would not be abnormal. Let me clarify in that case, and then we have one card left, the final outcome. We've got the Knight of Cups. Yes, a message, and not only that, but perhaps delivered in person. With that Scorpio, Pisces, and sometimes Cancer energy, the Knight of Cups there. Well, I said they're coming to see you, but flip the roles if necessary. Someone is approaching the other one. At least that's their intent. So either you don't know that they want to come to you or that they're going to. Which I know is kind of vague, but it's going to be different for everyone. And finally, well, just a little more about the Knight of Cups though. I mean, it's cups, it's water energy, so whereas the Page of Wands can talk about like a flirtatious text or a little spark of passion, or a baby, by the way, so be careful if you actually... Okay, I don't have to finish that sentence. But the Knight of Cups, he's also romantic and very sweet. So I'm going to turn over this last card and we'll see the final outcome, out to about 6 months, give or take a little. And we've got Justice. Lovely. Major Arcana for Libra energy. It's strange that I'm getting vagueness from this card. It really is. Because it's Major Arcana, and it's about receiving good karma when due. It's about favorable legal matters. Can include contracts, also marriage. And what I'm really picking up from it though, is a positive sort of vagueness in the sense that it's upright, and when justice is done, justice, a lot of times when people say justice has been done, we tend to think of it as they're saying vengeance instead of justice. So it's like we say it in a very punishing way a lot of times in common speech. So yeah, he got his justice or that sort of thing, but in reality, justice is simply fair. Even though the justice isn't typically seen as, well, it is sometimes, but I don't hear it very often. It doesn't necessarily talk about balance in like the way that maybe temperance would, or even the Six of Pentacles that we've been discussing. But fairness is basically the same thing as balance in the way that I see it, I suppose. And the reason that I'm pausing here or being really slow in my speech is because I was trying to find something really quickly on my Facebook, and I apologize for the delay. Talk amongst yourselves. So, it's this Bible verse, and I'm almost there because I know it was right around the new moon in Sagittarius. Oh, well, did it go back this far? No, I passed it. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm almost there. I promise. I was trying to hurry, and so I didn't look closely enough to really catch it. I'm scrolling. I mean, I guess I could have just Googled the damn Bible verse. Oh, sorry, God. Instead of looking it up on my Facebook, but I know that I posted it. This is going to drive me crazy. It's not on there. Alright, so instead of having a fit, I know that it's in Matthew, and it says, something about he makes the rain. Now I'm Googling it, damn it. There it is. It's Matthew 5:45. And it says, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. As I'm saying that, right now the sun is actually starting to rise. So that's kind of cool. But that's what I'm getting from this Justice card. How that relates to your twin flame connection, I will try to clarify that. I do realize it's not a very specific answer. But if it's a true twin flame connection anyway, is there really any end? I mean, if you do reach union in this lifetime, then some could see that as a type of end. But I think that even then the journey would be never ending. Because our souls are eternal. I mean, if you believe that, which I do. But justice to me it's a very positive outlook. It's not saying, well, in 6 months you'll be doing this or doing that or exactly where you'll be. But if things are fair, I can't think of anything more fair or balanced than one soul, and two bodies becoming one. To me, it's duality into unity. It's the whole point of a lot of things. And as I say that, what we got to clarify is the Ace of Wands. Sorry, it's kind of a glare on me. And that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. A passionate new beginning. I'm actually feeling like a spark of excitement in my belly right now, y'all. The next 6 months look like they're going to be very interesting. Things are going to start coming together the way that they should. And with the Ace of Wands, it's very much a positive yes card. So take that as it resonates. I'll leave the reading here. For those of you who made it all the way through, I greatly appreciate your time and attention. Please like, share, subscribe. Tap the notification bell to be made aware of my future uploads. And have a great rest of the year. See you soon. Bye.